Alright. Hey guys, magandang umaga, magandang hapon, magandang gabi. Kung kailan mo man pinapanood to. So, syempre, tapos ka na mag-exam. Ngayon, sagutan naman natin. Right? Para malaman natin kung gaano karami yung nakuha mong tama. Alright? So, let's begin. Una natin, obligations. Right? So, this one. Over a phone call, Jason's Cake Shop agreed to deliver a 5-layer cake on Lester's birthday with payment to be made upon delivery. On the date of Lester's birthday, however, Jason refused to deliver the cake. Which of the following remedies will be available to Lester? Now guys, dito, di ang sagot natin kasi unenforceable ito. Alright? Kasi, iba remember, meron sa unenforceable yung sale of goods na not less than 500 pesos. Covered siya ng statute of frauds, di ba? So, ang ano mo lang dyan, ang pwede mo itanong siguro is, sir, wala naman nakalagay na price dyan. Now, may indicator kasi. Pagka multiple layers na po ang cake, ay walang ganun na 500. Okay, lampas yan. Sobrang mahal ng mga bagay na yan. Alright? So, you have to be mindful sa mga clue na ganun. Kung walang price itself, tingnan mo, baka may clue nilagay. Okay? So, again, bakit hindi pwedeng specific or substitute performance? Kasi, unenforceable ito. Covered ng statute of frauds. Alright? Sige. Next. Dito naman tayo kay Marites. Okay, Marites owes Beshi Cakes 1 million due on October 1. Okay, but failed to pay on due date. So si Beshi sent a demand letter to Marites giving her 5 days from receipt within to pay. Then 2 days after receiving the letter, okay, personally offered to pay in a manager's check, through a manager's check, but the latter refused to accept the same. 5 days passed, may Marites obligation be considered extinguished. All right. Ngayon, ang sagot natin dito letter B, mga kaibigan. Kasi, remember, well, one, ang payment ng, kunyari, kapag may ganito, nag-tender of payment siya. Correct? Tender of payment. Ni-refuse. Hindi porket ni-refuse, extinguished na. Di ba, remember, magkakambal yun? Tender of payment and consignation. So, generally, dapat, yung tender of payment mo, kapag hindi tinanggap, doon, magko-consignation ka. And, dyan lang magkakaroon ng possibility na ma-extinguish. Alright? Now, let's say, na kunyari, valid yung tender of payment. Sige, kunyari na lang, ganyan. Hindi pa rin siya hindi pa rin siya magiging extinguished. Kasi remember, yung manager's check, ayan yung covered ng 1249. Di ba? Yung kapag ka mga bills of exchange, mercantile documents, kailan lang nagpo-produce ng effect of payment yan? Kapag na-in cash. So wala rin nangyaring ganun dito. So that's why letter B ang sagot natin. Alright? Sige. Number 3. Okay? So A is the listed owner of 10,000 shares. Yan. 10,000 shares with par value of 100 per share. Okay? ABC, yung corporation, sued A for payment of the indebtedness. Okay? So may hiwalay pa siyang utang. Okay? So may utang siya sa corporation pero shareholder siya at the same time. A contends that the debt must be compensated by his shares of stock with plaintiff corporation. The contention is, alright, ano sagot natin? Only 2 are false. Alright? Now, remember guys, yung false dyan ay statement 1 and statement 3. Okay? Now, statement 1, syempre, valid due to legal compensation, hindi pwede. Okay? Remember guys, kapag compensation, dapat mutual debtors and creditors. Ang situation dito ay ano? Debtor siya ng corporation, pero hindi siya creditor ng corporation. Bakit? Kasi investor siya. Di ba remember, kapag ikaw ay holder ng equity, wala kang karapatan singilin yung corporation, di ba? Ikaw ay, ang hawak mo lang ay residual interest. Meaning, babayaran muna ang creditors bago ikaw. Alright? So, hindi kayo mutual debtors and creditors. Therefore, impossible po magkaroon ng legal compensation. Statement 2, yun yung tama. Yun yung true. Statement 3, ay mas lalong mali yan. Alright? Wala pakialam yung value ng shares doon. Alright? So, again, for this item, only 2 are false. Kasi, yung statement 1 at statement 3, false yan. Okay? Next. Ito. Rain and Brad met in SM Manila. Negotiations regarding the sale of his very own Maserati. So, ibig sabihin, particular, yung product, diba, or specific. After inspecting, Brad, who is a registered voter of Taguig, agreed to buy the luxury SUV from Rain, who hails from Pasay, by tendering 5 million pesos. So, bayad na. Now, one day, Brad, who was at EDSA Shangri-La in Mandaluyong City, called Rain on his freshly unboxed iPhone 15 to demand delivery of the SUV. Rain answered and set out to comply. On his way to the parking lot, he bumped into Brad. Nandun rin pala siya. Okay? So, then Rain handed Brad the keys to the Maserati and left to book and grab. Given the circumstances, in what city should delivery of the SUV be made? And upon the turnover of the keys, was the obligation extinguished? Alright, so yung unang tanong dyan, the two parts yung question. So ang unang tinatanong sa'yo is, saan ba dapat dinideliver ito? Okay? Now, dapat sa Manila. Kasi di ba specific thing to, tas nasan sila nung nabuo yung obligation? Nasa SM Manila. Right? So yan, Manila. So letter C. Now, bakit naging yes yung isa upon turnover of the keys? Kasi you might be wondering, kung Manila dapat dineliver, nasa Mandaluyong sila. Right? Now, ang sagot dyan guys is remember, kasi di ba delivery yun, di ba delivery na yan kasi keys, di ba? So constructive delivery na siya. Now, remember mo lang si 1235 regarding payment. When the obligee accepts performance, knowing its incompleteness or irregularity without any protest or exception, or objection, the obligation is deemed fully complied with. Remember, karapatan po ni creditor ito. Okay, karapatan niya. So, kung karapatan niya yan, pwede niya pong i-waive. Yun po ang ibig sabihin ng 1235. Winave na niya. Okay? Kasi natanggap na rin naman ni Brad, wala naman dahilan na para pa, wala nang dahilan para sabihin pa, dapat sa Manila to, mali ka. Nasa kanya na eh. Di ba? So, waiver yan. Right? So, again, number 4, letter C po ang sagot natin. Or ito at least tong number na to. Alright, number 5. M, a minor, owns a unique necklace worth 200,000. G, the guardian of M, by means of fraud, induced X, another minor, to buy the ring for 150,000, which X did so, and G effected delivery to X. So, nabenta. The contract is not in writing, which is correct. Okay? Sagot natin dyan letter A. Okay, mamaya, isa-isahin natin. Letter D muna. Bakit mali yung letter D? Remember, yung receivable na ito, dapat more than 1/4. Okay? Hindi lang po basta 1/4. Dapat more than 1/4. Dito sakto eh. So, wala. Hindi siya receivable. Now, unenforceable. Both M and X are incapacitated to give consent. Hindi rin yan. Kasi remember, ang nagbenta si G. Okay? Nagbenta si G. Guardian eh. Okay? Guardian. So, through the guardian, hindi mag-i-effect yung letter C. Okay? Now, B. Voidable, but X can ask for annulment within 4 years from discovery of the fraud. Hindi po pwede yan. Bakit? Kasi remember, guardian niya po ang injured party dito. Ang injured party dito ay si yung isang minor. Sino yung isang minor? Si X. Okay? Now, so, ang mangyayari dyan is magte-take over yung minority. Okay? Yung minority niya. Yung minority. Kasi yun yung tawag dito, inherent sa kanya eh. Alright? So, yung annulment na pwede niyang i-seek is because sa minority niya. Okay? Sa minority niya. Now, that one is from the time na mawala yung guardian. Yung guardianship. Yung from the time the guardianship ceases. Dapat ganon. Okay? Now, kaya rin mali yung yung tawag dito, yung letter B is kunyari ma-discover niya yung fraud. Okay, ma-discover niya yung fraud. Paano kung minor pa rin siya noon? 'Di ba? Kasi wala namang age na nilagay dito. So, what if, for example, na-discover ni X yung fraud while still being a minor? So, hindi pa rin niya pwedeng ipa-annul. Kasi, di ba, remember, incapacitated siya. Ang gagawa dapat ng annulment, si guardian. Ang problem, si guardian nga yung nag-employ ng fraud. Alright? So, yung B medyo problematic kasi ang dami mong questions na pwedeng tanungin sa kanya. Okay? So, questionable siya. So, hindi yan pwedeng sagot right away at baka may better answer. Which is the case dito sa ating letter A. Okay? Voidable, yes, but G cannot ask for annulment of the contract. Okay? Voidable yan. Okay? Voidable yan. Bakit? Okay? Bakit voidable yan? Kasi may fraud. Okay? Kasi may fraud. Now, bakit hindi pwedeng si G ang magpa-annul? Kasi siya ang may kasalanan. Okay? Remember, hindi ka pwedeng mag-ask ng annulment kung ikaw yung may kagagawan ng annulment. Okay? Yung vitiated consent natin, kung ikaw yung cause ng vitiation of consent, hindi mo pwedeng ipa-annul yung contract. And in this case, si G talaga malinaw naman na siya ang may kasalanan. So letter A yan. Okay? Next. Issue the check. Okay, A issued the check dated in favor of B kasi may utang siya. Alright? So B kept the check in his drawer. Ayun lang, nakalimutan niya. Now, the following year, B presented the check to the Drawee Bank for payment. The bank refused within a reasonable time. Kasi diba usually ang check 6 months lang. Alright? Now, ano ang sagot natin dito? All are false. Bakit? Okay? Bakit all are false? Tingnan mo pa yung statement 1. Okay? Hindi yan extinguished. Okay? Hindi yan extinguished. Kasi hindi naman, okay, well, hindi naman na-impair. Okay? Hindi naman na-impair. Okay? Ay, sorry, hindi naman na-impair yung credit. Yung ang problem lang dyan is hingi ka lang ng bagong cheque. Okay? Remember guys, yung impairment ng credit, nag-a-apply yun pag galing sa iba yung cheque. Okay? Anyway, ano yun? Kapag, kunyari, pinasa pa uli yung cheque, in-endorse uli, yun, doon nag-a-apply yun. Yung through the fault of the creditor, the check has been impaired. Eh dito dalawa lang sila. So, anyway, kailangan tandaan mo, para mag-apply yan, dapat tatlo sila. Okay? Yung nag-issue, yung unang payee, tapos yung endorsee, yung pinasahan pa ng pangatlo. Alright? Para mag-apply ang impairment na yan, okay, para gumana yung impairment na yan, dapat tatlo sila. May pinasahan pang isa ng cheque. Alright? Statement 2. B can sue the bank as drawee because it is primarily liable. Well, mali yan. Okay, mali yan. Kasi remember, wala namang utang sa kanya yung bangko. Kaya ang may utang sa kanya, si A. Okay? And besides guys, pag cheque, ang primarily liable is the acceptor. Okay? So, wala yung acceptor dito. Okay? And statement 3, bakit mali yung statement 3? Kasi, when B accepted the check, when B accepted the check and A tendered payment, extinguished na. Hindi pwede. Just like what we said a while ago, di ba yung sa 1249 natin, yung mercantile documents, just like this one, kailan lang siya nagpo-produce ng effect ng payment? Di ba dapat ma-encash muna? Eh, hindi nga na-encash dito. So, ibig sabihin, false din yan. So, all are false tayo dito. Okay? Ayun, tapos na si Obli. Si Con naman. Right? Which of the following contracts is void? Okay? Now guys, letter D ang sagot natin. Ito namang iba. Okay, ito namang isa. Sale, di ba? Sale. Okay? Without consent or authority, unenforceable yan. Unauthorized. Itong B, sale of building. Okay lang. Bakit? Kasi yung prohibition, sale of land. Yung sa 1874, di ba? Yan yung pinoint out natin na medyo kailangan mong tandaan. And letter C, okay, hindi yan void. Bakit? Kasi, personal property yan di ba? Okay, personal property yan. So, essentially, ano pa din naman? Okay, authorized naman siya. Remember guys, yung authorization hindi naman kailangan talaga in writing except in one instance. Ano yun? Itong letter D. Kapag po, land, ang pinapabenta mo sa ahente, remember ha, kapag land, ang pinapabenta mo sa ahente, dapat yung authority niya in writing. Alright? Kapag binenta niya yon na yung authority niya ay not in writing, void po ang sale. Okay, void ang sale ha, void yung sale. Alright? So please remember that. That's 1874 of the Civil Code. Okay? Now, next. As exceptions to the principle of relativity, third persons are affected by a contract. Ay, sorry. Dapat pala by. Yung principle of relativity, guys, remember, di ba? Contracts take effect only between the parties, their assigns and heirs. Yan, di ba? So, merong exceptions na the contracts have the effect kahit dun sa mga third persons, meaning yung hindi kasali dun sa agreement. Okay? So, lahat po yan true. Okay? Those are the exceptions. Tingnan nyo. Creating real rights. Bakit? Kasi remember, di ba, pag creating real rights, yan ay binding on the world, on the whole world. So, real rights affect the whole world. So, yung third parties are affected. 2, for a truee, di ba? Yung in favor of a third person. Yan mismo yun. And lastly, contracts to defraud creditors. Di ba? Pag ganito, nagiging rescissible. So, kahit hindi sila members niyan, kahit hindi sila party to your transaction, pwede nilang ipa-rescind yung contract mo under certain circumstances. Alright? So, all are true na naman tayo. Oh, this one. H and W got legally married without any agreement as to their property regime. A few months into the marriage, W, in a fit of rage, pointed a gun at H. Bah, parang telenovela to. W demanded H extend a loan to X, a former lover. W, ayun na nga. Telenovela nga. The two being alone, H feared imminent death and H reluctantly agreed to loan X 100 million. Loan naman, hindi naman bigay. Okay, at this point, what is the status of the contract of loan? Okay, remember guys, a loan is a real contract. Okay? Contract of loan or yung tawag nila mutuum is a real contract. So ano ang requirement para magkaroon ng real contract, di ba? COC plus delivery. At this point, na-deliver na ba ang pera? Hindi pa. So ibig sabihin, wala pang contract. So void yan. Walang delivery, void yan. Okay? Anong point nito? Ang point lang is to introduce you to another example of a real contract. Ito yun. Contract of loan. Real yan. Okay? Sige. So void ha, void yun. Next, interpretation. Siyempre, alam nyo to. Di ba? Interpretation, least transmission of rights. Okay? Gratuitous yan. Okay? Remember guys, yung interpretation, dapat muna may ambiguity ha. Pag walang ambiguity, wala kang ini-interpret. You just implement. Okay? So next, consider, ayan. Okay? Ang concept natin dito, guys, is, sige, statement 1, if at the time making the offer or acceptance, one of the parties was insane, the resulting contract is voidable. True yan. Okay? Now, all are true pala to. Okay? So if before, statement 2, if before acceptance is conveyed, either of the parties become insane, then the resulting contract is void. Okay? True din yan. Tapos statement 3, after. Okay? So meaning, meron ng contract nito, one of the parties become insane, the contract is still valid. So anong concept ang tinuturo natin dito? Remember guys, when do you determine the status of the contract? At the time of perfection. So regardless of what happens after perfection, hindi na po naapektuhan ang contract mo. Maliban na lang kung ratification yan. Kasi that one retroacts, di ba? Now, ito pong una, okay, one of the parties was insane, so ibig sabihin, one of the parties was incapacitated. So, voidable yun, correct? And yung statement 2, remember lang guys sa statement 2, bakit naging void yan? Kasi remember, yung offer, di ba may offer, it becomes ineffective upon death, civil interdiction, insanity, or insolvency of either party before acceptance is conveyed. So ibig sabihin, nawawala, naglalaho yung offer. Remember, di ba offer and acceptance go into consent. So ibig sabihin, kapag ganyan ang nangyari sa statement 2, wala tayong consent. Pag wala tayong consent, kulang yung COC. So void yun. Alright? Dito sa item na to, we are all true. Okay? Next, the following contracts are not void. Not daw, ha? Not void. Okay? So, statement 1, oral contract of donation of a brand new Apple MacBook Pro. Okay? Excuse me. Yan po ay void. Okay? Bakit? Kasi remember, yung MacBook Pro na yan, brand new. So, ibig sabihin, hindi yan 500 pesos lang. Ay, hindi yan 5,000 pesos lang. Lampas yan. So, dapat in writing na to. So, void yan. Statement 2, oral contract of services executed by an agent with an oral authorization from the principal. Okay? So, nagkwentuhan lang sila. Okay? Yan po ay valid. Okay? Kasi wala namang requirement. Again, guys, yung authorization, wala namang talagang requirement yun. Okay? Wala namang talagang requirement na maging in writing siya or anything. Okay? Now, statement 3, oral contract of partnership which included a piece of land. Ayan, void yan. Kasi remember, di ba? Pagka yung contribution mo from the partner involves real property, dapat meron daw inventory. Otherwise, nagiging void. Alright? So statement 1 is false, statement 3 is false also. Okay? That's why letter D ang sagot. Alright, sales naman tayo. On January 1, S sold and delivered a 100 square meter lot to B at a selling price of 1,000 square meter. On July 1, okay, discovered that the actual area is only 91. What is the legal remedy? Guys, yung legal remedy, huwag kayong excited sa ganito, ha? Huwag kayong excited. Bakit? Remember, nagkakaroon lang yan, yung quanti minoris na yan or cancellation of the sale, kapag impossible na ma-deliver yung kulang. Okay? So, basahin niyo yung 1539. Okay? 1539 po ang basis nito. Okay? So, kunyari if the sale of real estate should be made with a statement of the area at a rate of a certain price for a unit of measure, syempre, the vendor shall be obligated to deliver. Tama naman, di ba? If the latter should demand it all that is stated in the contract. Tapos, if this is not possible. So, ibig sabihin, ano yung karapatan ni buyer dyan? Mag-demand dun sa kulang. Yan po talaga ang pwede niyang gawin. Now, kailan papasok tong dalawa? Itong quanti minoris or cancellation. Kapag daw, if this is not possible, yung this, ibig sabihin yung i-deliver yung kulang, the vendee may choose between a proportional reduction, quanti minoris, or the rescission of the contract. Alright? Remember. Okay, remember. Kailan pwede mangyari yan? Kapag lang hindi possible na i-deliver yung kulang. Alright? Dito wala namang sinabing hindi possible. So, ibig sabihin, ang legal remedy niya talaga is to demand first. Okay? So, 1539 guys, pakibasang mabuti. Now, next. Ito naman, koda lang ito. Alright, koda lang. Okay, this is 1574, I believe. Okay, no warranty for hidden defects kapag binenta sa fair, pag binenta sa public auction, at saka pag condemned na siya. All are true ito. Okay, huwag na natin masyadong pagtalunan yan. Alright, B purchased a residential lot from S on installment on the following terms. Okay, residential lot, 200 down payment, tapos 100,000 every year until fully paid. Assume that B defaulted on the very first installment. Okay? Now, syempre, clearly, wala pang 2 years, di ba? What is the grace period to pay without additional interest in the cash surrender value? Syempre, letter A ang sagot natin. Okay? Now, guys, remember yung ano dyan, yung rule dyan, tandaan mo lang yung 2 years. Kapag less than 2 years ka, may grace period ka pa rin. Okay? Ang nawawala lang sa'yo is yung cash surrender value. Okay? Now, excuse me, pwede bang humaba yung grace period? Yes. Kasi ang sinabi sa batas natin, the seller shall give the buyer at least 60 days. Okay? Pero syempre, kung ikaw naman si seller, ba't mo hahabaan yan? Okay? Pero ang sinasabi ko lang is it is possible na pahabain. Okay? Now, itong item na to, remember ha, less than 2 years. Kaya po, walang cash surrender value. Next, credit. Okay? Credit transactions. Okay? S sold to B a specific TV set for 5,000 pesos. Okay? B made a partial payment of 2,000 and the balance to be paid 3 months after. As a security for the obligation, B executed a chattel mortgage. B failed to pay and the TV set was foreclosed and sold for only 2,000. Okay? So, pag ganito, chattel mortgage, ibig sabihin, meron kang deficiency. Meron kang right to deficiency. Alright? So, pwede mo pa rin kunin yung deficiency judgment na yun. Okay? Chattel mortgage po ito ha. Chattel mortgage, pwede pa rin yung deficiency. Okay, next. Now, saan ba tayo? Ito. Ito. Yan. Okay. Lester mortgages land worth 5 million in favor of Brad to secure a debt of 6M. Okay? So Lester sold the land to Jason. Pwede naman yun, di ba? Pwede mo naman ibenta. Yung kahit ang kasanglaing lupa, pwede mo ibenta. Ang problem lang, sasama yung pagkasangla. So ibig sabihin, subject to the mortgage, yung pagkabenta mo. Now, consider the following. Statement 1, on due date, should demand payment. May foreclose. Pwede. Kasi nga, subject pa rin yung lupa kahit binenta na. Okay? Statement 2, Brad can waive the mortgage and file a case in court for collection. Pwede rin. No problem. Okay? Pero ang point lang yan guys is, you have to remember na alternative po yan ha? Alternative. Meaning, pwede ka mag-foreclose or mag-file ka ng kaso para sa collection. Okay? Or po yun ha? Or. Hindi pwede yung sabay. Okay? Pag pinili mo isa, wala na po yung kabila. And statement 3, saan ba tayo? Brad can choose to collect the 5 million from Jason, and if Jason pays, Jason can go after Lester for reimbursement. Yes, pwede yan. Okay, that is 2129 guys. Alright? So kung sino man yung possessor ng mortgage property, pwede siyang singilin, pero only up to. Okay? Itong kung magkano yung worth ng security. Alright? Hindi niya pwedeng singilin si Jason ng buong 6 million. Ang pwede lang singilin is kung magkano yung security. Alright? Kung magkano lang yung secured nung collateral. So remember that? Okay? That's Article 2129. So this item, tayo ay all are true. Last for credit. Okay? Sorry, security transactions. The following requisites are essential to contracts of pledge and mortgage. Okay? The contracts must be constituted to secure fulfillment of a principal obligation. Yes, tama yan. True yan. Okay? Hindi pwedeng meron kang pledge or mortgage na wala kang principal obligation kasi accessory lang sila. Okay? 2, the pledgor or mortgagor who cannot be a third person, be the absolute owner. The thing. Mali po yan. Kasi third persons can actually secure. Okay? Nasa 2085. Okay? Nasa 2085 yan. Third persons who are not parties to the principal obligation may secure the latter by pledging or mortgaging their own property. Pwede. Yan yung mga accommodation mortgage na tinatawag. Kumbaga, kaibigan mo siguro. Okay? Kaibigan mo siguro. Papayag siyang isang lang yung property niya para sa iyo. Okay? And statement 3, okay, constituting the pledge have free disposal of their property or legally authorized to do so. Yes, tama rin yan. So guys, only 2 are true. Bakit? Ito po ay false, ha? Pwede kasi na third person. Okay? Next, Truth in Lending. Okay, Truth in Lending Act. Okay? So all are true ito, guys, sa computation. Pwede, magtiwala na lang kayo sa akin, ha? Okay, kasi remember, ang sinasabi ni Truth in Lending Act, dapat makompute dapat alam mo kung magkano yung effective interest rate. Alright? So, syempre, kinocompute ang effective interest rate. Okay, kasi yun yung hindi siya yung nominal, di ba? Hindi siya yung nominal. So, in computing the effective interest rate, kasama po yung mga yan. Alright? Kasama yung mga yan sa computation. Interest, service charge, and other fees incidental to the extension of credit, yung mga finance charges. Okay? Kasama ha? Magtiwala na lang po kayo. Okay? Huwag mo na masyadong dibdibin. So, all are true. Ito. This one. If there is non-compliance with the requirements of the Truth in Lending Act, alright? Only 2 are false. Okay? Guys, remember, yung Truth in Lending Act, ang naapektuhan lang niya is what? The interest. Okay? Interest, guys, is accessory. So, meaning, kapag naapektuhan yung accessory, hindi po maapektuhan yung main contract. So, mali po itong statement 1. Okay? Again, hindi po maapektuhan yung contract of loan, yung interest lang. Okay? Statement 2. Okay, statement 2. Creditor becomes civilly liable to the debtor. All right. Ay, teka. Yeah. Ay, mali ito. I'm sorry, guys. Okay? I'm sorry. Dapat pala to, only 2 are true. Okay? Only 2 are true. So, sorry, ito dapat ang sagot. Okay? Hindi yan. Hindi ito, ha? Hindi yung letter D. I'm sorry for that. Okay? Ito lang po ang false, yung statement 1. Kasi, di ba remember, ang liability sa ano? Sa, anong tawag doon? Sa Truth in Lending Act is civil liability kasi pwede mong i-recover, di ba? Yung portion, yung ano, pwede ka maka-recover ng certain portion ng finance charge. Tapos, they can also be, they meaning yung creditor, can also become subject to criminal liability. Alright? So, pasensya na. Dapat pala, hindi pala letter D, letter C ito ha. Letter C. Alright? Ano lang ang false dyan? Ito lang po. Okay? Yung contract of loan will remain. Magbabayad ka pa rin. Okay? Magbabayad ka pa rin. Yung interest lang ang ating mapapawalang visa. Okay? Now, next. Okay, next. Ito. Itong mga bagay na to guys, alright? These are all true. Okay? So, again, dito magtiwala ka na lang. What happens? Ibig sabihin, defenses. Alright? Di ba? Ano nga uli ang defenses? Legal justifications not to pay. Alright? So, these are examples ng pwede mong erase na hindi ka, well, one, hindi ka na makukulong pala. Okay? Hindi ka makukulong. So, ano ginawa mo? Payment. Payment. Okay? But remember ha, payment within yung 5 banking days. Okay? From receipt of notice of dishonor. So, pag nagbayad ka, okay, dito sa period na to, ay hindi ka na makukulong yan. Okay? Next, ito. Before filing of the case with the criminal case in court. After na yan ng 5 days, guys. All right? After na yan ng 5 days. Pero remember, ano ang yung time limit? Dapat daw hindi pa na-file yung kaso sa korte ha, hindi po sa piskal, sa korte. Okay? And lastly, ito. Kailangan kasi ng notice of dishonor, mga kaibigan. Bakit? Para dito. Di ba may 5 days na binibilang? Hindi po aandar yung 5 days na yan kung walang notice of dishonor. So, ibig sabihin, denial of due process yan. Okay? So, again, magtiwala ka na lang. Yan po ay, marami po pong ibang defenses, pero those are 3 of them. Ibig sabihin, kapag nangyari yan, hindi ka na makukulong. Okay? Ng BP 22. Estafa naman, again, all are true rin ito. Okay? Elements naman niya. Okay? Elements. So, remember, may cheque. Okay? May cheque ha. Dapat, prior or at the time of the obligation. Okay? So meaning, hindi pwede ito sa pre-existing obligation. Hindi pwede yun. Okay? Kailangan, yung cheque at yung obligation sabay nangyari. Okay? So kung in-issue mo to, na may obligation ka na, hindi ka pwedeng makasuhan ng estafa. Okay? Hindi ka pwedeng makasuhan ng estafa kung nung time na nag-issue ka ng cheque, meron na pong obligation. Hindi pwede. Okay? Next, of course, no funds or not sufficient. Siyempre, kasi tatalbog yan cheque na yan. And lastly, remember guys, it is not really the act, it's not really the bouncing of the check that subjects you to liability. Ito po. Okay, indicator lang 'yon. Pero ano talaga ang dahilan kung bakit ka kinakasuhan? Dahil nanloko ka. Okay? Estafa guys, okay, in normal language or in layman's terms is panloloko or fraud. Okay? Estafa is actually just fraud. So dapat may panloloko. All right? So again, magtiwala ka na lang dito. All are true po yan ha. All are true. Okay, next. Partnership. Okay, partnership. So si partnership guys, Lester and Brad are partners. The total obligation of the partnership totals 80,000. Okay, Jason was admitted. So naglagay sila ng bago na partner, industrial. At the time of Jason's admission, the partnership creditors were Marites, pay for 50, and Jay for 30. Okay, so meron ng creditors nung time na pumasok si Jason. Now, after January 15, partnership borrowed from Ox, okay, and from Perfect. So ibig sabihin, nangutang pa sila after pumasok ni Jason. So meron silang utang prior to Jason's admission and then after nangutang sila ulit. Okay, on June, became insolvent, leaving obligations amounting to 30. Consider the following. Okay, statement 1. After the partnership assets have been exhausted, all partners, including industrial ones, shall be liable pro rata. Tama. Di ba? Rule, yan yung general rule natin, di ba? Okay? Statement 2. Marites and NJ cannot go after the separate properties of Jason. True din po yan. Ox and Perfect can go after the properties of all partners. True din yan. Ano ang concept dito? Yung pagpasok ni Jason. Magkaiba po ang treatment dun sa creditors prior to his admission and yung after. Article 1826 po. Okay, ng civil code natin yan. Okay, kasi remember, kapag ikaw ay bagong partner, okay, pag ikaw ay bagong partner, yung mga lumang creditors or yung mga creditor na nandyan na nung pagkapasok mo, they can only, okay, they cannot go after your separate property. Okay? Yung mga creditors prior to your admission cannot go after your separate property. Pero yung mga creditors after your admission, yun, pwede ka na nilang habulin hanggang sa pansarili mong ari-arian. Okay? So guys, 1826 po ng Civil Code yan. Magkaiba ang treatment sa creditors prior to your admission at saka yung after your admission. Okay? So all are true. Next. Co-owners of a parcel of land, they share the profits equally as co-heirs in inheritance. So minana nila. Statement 1. Okay, there is prima facie presumption of partnership because of the equal sharing of profits. Statement 2. Ano ba to? There is no partnership because co-ownership itself does not establish a partnership despite sharing of profits. Yan ang sagot natin. Okay? Statement 3. There is no partnership because division of profit is not necessarily among partners. Alright? Now, ito pong statement 2 ang best answer or yung pinaka-correct. Kasi, yan po ay nakasulat mismo. Okay, sa 1769, number 2 ng Civil Code natin. Okay? Co-ownership, okay, does not by itself establish a partnership even if there is a sharing of profit. Okay? So, statement 2 po ang totoo dyan. Alright? Ang true pala. Okay, ang true. So, this one is true. Statement 1, syempre, is false. Statement 3 is also false. Okay? This one, Brad and Tom orally agreed to form a partnership. Each contributed cash and personal property worth 5,000 to a common fund. They did not register to the SEC. In this case, the contract is still valid. Okay, remember, personal property lang naman yung kinontribute. So, it doesn't matter. Valid pa rin yung partnership. Okay, number 4, this item, ano ba to? Acquire by their work or industry during the existence. Definition lang yan. So, okay, 1780. Alright? Universal partnership of profits. Okay? Kasi work or industry during the existence. Definition lang. Okay. Brad, Tom, NJ are partners. Pinaki Limited. NJ is a limited partner. They contributed capital equally and agreed to share profits and losses equally. No problem. The assets of the partnership was 200,000 was the liability, while the liability was still 320. In this case, how much can Lester collect from NJ? Zero. Kasi limited partner siya. Okay? Remember, liability nang pinag-uusapan dyan. So by definition, 1843, the limited partner is not bound by the obligations of the partnership. Okay? Number 6, in relation to distribution of profit and loss, consider the following. 1. Okay, a stipulation excluding a capitalist partner from losses is void. Is valid pala. Void yan. Okay, hindi pwede. Yung stipulation, hindi mo pwedeng i-exclude from profits or losses actually ang partners generally. Alright? A stipulation excluding a limited partner from losses is valid. Void din yan. Okay? Saan ba hindi liable ang limited partner? Sa obligations, hindi po sa losses. Alright? And lastly, a stipulation excluding an industrial partner from losses is, yan, valid yan. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman talaga siya liable dun. Di ba? Pwede mo siyang gawing liable. Okay lang kung mag-agree kayo. Okay? But, if you stipulate na exempt siya from losses, okay lang. Kasi actually, kahit hindi mo ilagay yung stipulation na yun, hindi naman talaga siya liable. Okay? Okay. Corp naman. Right. So if a director retires, okay, the revised corporation code requires that the vacancy must be filled up within 45 days. All right, letter D. Okay, letter D yan, guys. So section 28 lang titingnan mo dyan. Yung 45 days, yan yung yan yung kapag ibang case, hindi siya yung Okay? So kumbaga kung hindi siya dahil nag-expire yung term, okay? Hindi nag-removal, ayan. Okay? So 45 days. Next. ABC Corporation issued redeemable shares. All right. Under the terms of the issuance, the shares shall be redeemed at the end of 10 years from the date of issuance at par value plus a premium of 10%. So may liquidation value siya. In relation thereto, consider the following. ABC Corp would need unrestricted retained earnings to be able to redeem the shares. Mali yan. Okay. corporations are not allowed to issue redeemable shares. Ba, mas lalong mali yan. Okay? Tapos, holders of redeemable shares enjoy a preference over creditors. Mali din yan. Okay? Kasi remember, equity pa rin yun. So, dapat nauna pa rin ang creditor sa kanya. Now, this is actually section 8, guys. Okay? So, kapag may redeemable shares ka, these things can be redeemed regardless of the existence of unrestricted retained earnings. Okay? But, si SEC actually requires you to create or to set up a sinking fund para ma-redeem mo yan. Okay? Kailangan may sinking fund ka. Okay? So, parang ganun din. Alright? So, meron kang restricted retained earnings, di ba? Pag sinking fund. So, anyway, so, for this item, all are false, ha? Mali ito. Okay, mali lahat yan. Now, the following are not allowed to incorporate. Not allowed. Okay, except. So, sino daw yung pwede? Siyempre, trust. Okay? Di ba? Sino nga yan? Trust, estate, or a natural person. Okay? Next number. Ito na. Yan. Vacancy in the board of directors can be filled up by the remaining directors in the following cases, except. Okay? Ito po. Okay? Increase in the number of directors. Okay? Increase in the number of directors. Kasi specific yan, dun pa rin, section 28, guys. Medyo maraming mapupulot dun sa section 28. Okay? Kapag nag-increase ng number of directors, kahit may quorum ka pa, kailangan yung shareholders po ang mag-fill up niyan. Okay? Next. In a one-person corporation. Okay? In a one-person corporation. The president is elected. Okay? The president is elected. Asan ba tayo? By the single shareholder. Mali yan. Okay, mali yan. Automatic po yun. You don't need to get elected. Bakit? Kasi nag-iisa ka lang naman. Okay? You don't need to get elected. That is automatic. Okay? The single shareholder shall be the sole director and the president. Automatic po yun. Okay? Now, number 2. The president may be the treasurer at the same time. Pwede rin. Okay? Pwede yan, ha? Pwede. Dito po, pwede. Sa ordinary corporation, hindi pwede yan, ha? Pero dito, pwede yan. Now, statement 3. The president may appoint the same person as both the treasurer and secretary. Of course, pwede rin yan. Okay? So, ano lang yung mali? Yung statement 1 lang natin. Alright? So, letter B. Next. Brad sold all his shares in AAA Corporation to Lester. Brad owns 99% of the hotel. Okay? As the new owner, Lester wanted a reorganization of the hotel, which is to include primarily the separation of all existing employees and the hiring of new ones. Okay? Which statement is most accurate? Now, guys, remember, merong separate juridical personality. Alright? So, di ba, remember, sa lessons natin, regardless of how many times ownership changes, it is the same corporation. It is still the same corporation. So, ang most correct po dyan, pag binasa mo lahat yan, is letter B. Okay? Kasi, the juridical entity is still the same. So, wala actually cause para sisantihin mo yung mga empleyado. Alright? Sige. So, letter B tayo dito, ha? Separate juridical personality. Next, consider the following arbitration agreement. Okay? So guys, itong arbitration agreement, remember, nasa section 181 ito ng inyong corporation code. Alright? Now, ano lang ang mali dyan? Only one is false, di ba? So, ang mali dyan, guys, is this one. Okay? Kapag may criminal offenses na at saka interest of third parties, meaning hindi na siya intra-corporate, ay hindi na yan arbitrable. Okay? Hindi sila pwedeng mabind doon sa agreement ninyo. Okay? Kasi di ba, remember, an arbitration agreement is like a contract. Kayo lang yan. Alright, kayo lang yan. It only takes effect between and among the members of the corporation. Alright? So, anong point? Si 181, guys, si section 181, hindi siya applicable or hindi na arbitrable yung offense kapag criminal na siya or kapag may third parties na hindi. Okay? So, only one is false. Ito lang po statement 2. ABC Inc. has 7 shareholders. Okay? Who are concurrently members of the board. Okay? Notices of a special meeting was sent to all except Z. Okay? Kasi hindi na nila alam kung saan siya nakatira. Okay? Now, the meeting was attended by TUVW. Okay, 4 lang sila. And unanimously voted for Brad to be the corporate treasurer. Consider the following. Okay, ano sagot natin dito? Only one is true. Alright? The meeting is valid. Hindi yan valid. Bakit? Remember, dapat you should send notices to all directors. Okay? All yun, ha? Hindi naman nila kailangan ma-receive. Pero you have to send. Alright? Now, statement 2. The quorum was a majority of 7. Alright? Tama yan. Bakit? Kasi remember, paano ka nagbibilang ng quorum? Okay, nagbawa na. It is the majority of the directors as stated in the Articles of Incorporation. Ilan ba? Di ba? 7 sila. So, majority ng 7. Yun po ang inyong quorum. Next. Statement 3, the required votes was a majority of the people constituting the quorum. Mali yan. Bakit? Kasi tingnan nyo yung vote, ano ba yung pinagbobotohan? Ano ba yung pinagbobotohan? Di ba? Corporate officer ito eh. Di ba? Remember, corporate officer? Pag corporate officer, okay, the election of officers requires a vote of majority of all members of the board. Hindi lang po majority of the quorum. Pag election or appointment ng corporate officers, it is the majority of all the members of the board. Yun po yung voting requirement. So mali po yung statement 3. Okay? Bakit naging mali yung statement 3? Kasi nag-a-appoint sila ng corporate officer. Okay? So only one is true. Ano yung true dyan? Ito lang po. Statement 2. Okay? Next, number 9. Kung ano man yung number nito sa exam. Okay? The corporate treasurer is required to be, of course, resident. Resident lang guys ha. Hindi po citizen. Ito pong citizen, dapat ito ay corporate secretary. So the treasurer is required to be a resident. Okay? Number 10. Or next item. Brad subscribed to 10,000 shares of XYZ Corp. Par value 100 per share. He paid only 25% of the subscription. No call has been made. How many shares are entitled to vote at the next stockholders meeting? 10,000. Kasi remember, unless maging delinquent yan, you are still entitled to your rights as a shareholder. Okay, hindi naman siya delinquent eh. So walang problema. Next. Brad subscribed to 10,000 1 peso par value shares of Pinnacle Inc. Okay, he was able to pay 6K but was not able to pay the balance. Delinquent. Delinquency sale, the bid price was 12,000. There was no bidder. How many shares will Brad get? 0. Bakit? Kasi di ba remember, pag walang ganyan, sa corporation, yung corporation ang magbibid. Alright? Ay, yung corporation ang makakakuha niya. Okay? Now, so letter D ang sagot natin. So next item is ito, ABC Corp. Posted a 1 million profit in its realty business, and its real estate has appreciated in value to the tune of 4 million pesos. The board declared dividends to its stockholders, computed on the basis representing profit and the appreciation of its real estate. Is the dividend declaration valid? Hindi valid. It's not valid, letter B. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman po ito retained earnings. Okay, hindi yan retained earnings, di ba? Yan ay, ano yan? Well, one, hindi naman sila nag-revaluation, so wala. Okay? Wala. Unearned yan. Okay? Or kung ano, nag-revalue, di magiging other comprehensive income yan. Pero nonetheless, hindi valid yung declaration of dividend kasi remember guys, dapat sa unrestricted retained earnings nang gagaling. Okay? So, next. In a corporation vested with public interest, independent directors must constitute at least 20% of the board. So that's one, statement 1. Tama naman yun, di ba? Okay? Compliance with a compliance officer must be elected also. True din. Okay? Remember CVPI ito, CVPI. Statement 3, an independent trustee, okay, need not be a member of the corporation. True po yan. Okay, ito po yung Section 91, okay, of the Revised Corporation Code. Remember guys, yung non-stock corporation, corporation pa rin. Okay, and it is possible na magkaroon ng non-stock corporation na maging vested with public interest. Okay? Although wala siya dun sa list, di ba, explicitly, wala siya dun sa listahan, okay, the SEC can actually designate, okay, or kung makapasok siya dun, pwede rin naman. Okay? Kunya nagbebenta siya to the public ng tawag dito, ng ano yung mga participation niya. Basta pwede siya mag-issue ng securities din di ba? So pwede. Ang point ko lang is, baka lang akala natin na yung CVPI applies only to stock corporations. Hindi po yun ganun ha. Pati po yung mga non-stock pwedeng maging CVPI. And kapag po ikaw ay naging CVPI, required ka na rin magkaroon ng independent director. Alright? And yung special case sa kanya is take a look. Kahit po hindi member, pwede maging independent trustee. Okay? Kasi di ba remember yung equivalent ng director sa non-stock is the trustee. Okay? So, ito pong item na to, all are true. So, number 14 or this question, X subscribed to 10,000 shares in the capital stock of AAA. Paid 50% and asked the corporate secretary to issue the corresponding stock certificate representing 50% of what was already paid. Okay, the secretary refused. Was the secretary correct? Siyempre. So remember, meron po tayong concept ng indivisibility of the subscription agreement. Meaning, okay, ang divisible lang, ang partial lang po dyan is yung bayad. Pero, yung shares po dyan, okay, yung certificate of stock, okay, hindi po yan pwedeng ma-issue unless bayaran mo na yung buo. Okay, nakalagay po yan mismo sa corporation code. So, indivisible po yan. Okay? So, for this item, letter A. Executive Vice President, si X, listed company. Okay? Can be held guilty of insider trading. Yes, all are true ito. Okay, bakit? Kasi remember guys, ano nangyari? Insider siya. Okay, insider siya. And tingnan mo yung mga naganap. Statement 1, about to list its shares. So, syempre, ano yan? Non-public. Okay, non-public yan, commercial information. Ay, non-public material information. Ito, when he learned na bibilhin, again, non-public. Okay, non-public material information yan. Kasi maapektuhan yan yung stock price mo eh. Okay, mga major acquisitions yan eh. Major acquisitions. Okay, tapos tingnan mo yung statement 3. Planning to acquire to improve, tapos tingnan mo yung lumabas. Tumaas niya ang presyo. Alright? So anyway, ang nangyari dito guys, insider siya. Kaya niya lang ginawa itong mga bagay na to. Is because, pakiramdam niya or may alam siya na hindi natin alam. Alright? And remember, kapag ginawa niya yan without the necessary disclosure, ano mangyayari? Magiging liable siya for insider trade. Okay? So all are true po yan ha. Itong item na to, all are true. 16. The following may be consideration for shares except. Alright, so dalawa lang naman ang bawal, di ba? Future, yung promissory note at saka future services. Yun lang po ang bawal. So ito, promissory, bawal yan. Okay, letter D. Next, subscription as distinguished from a purchase of stock. Letter A ang sagot. Okay, hindi ka po pwede na tag dito. Yung purchase of stock kasi guys, ano yan? Sale. Okay? So ibig sabihin, hindi ka pwedeng mag-contract of purchase. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-contract of sale or mag-deed of assignment. Hindi pwede yun. Before the incorporation. Okay, bakit? Kasi technically, before the incorporation, wala pa pong shares of stock. Technically, wala pa pong corporation. So wala pang nagbebenta. Okay? Walang subject matter at saka walang consent. So hindi pwede yun. Okay? After mag-incorporate, ayan pwede na. Okay? Kasi bibilhin mo yung share ng corporation. Okay? No problem. Pero yung subscription, guys, this is unique to a contract of subscription. You can do this even before the process of incorporation. Di ba may sariling provision nga yan sa corporation code natin? Alright? So please remember that. You cannot enter into a contract of sale involving shares of stock before there is a corporation. Hindi pwede. Alright? So itong item na to, letter A po ang sagot. Okay? Next. Ito, okay? Ay, sorry. Ito pala. Bylaws filed prior to incorporation. Okay? Remember guys, kapag prior to the incorporation, wala pa pong technically shareholders. Lahat kayo incorporators pa lang. Okay? So dapat unanimous po yan. Okay? Dapat unanimous. Ha? Yung bylaws mo, if it is filed prior to incorporation, okay, dapat unanimous po ang pipirma. Yung incorporators. Meaning lahat ng incorporator, dapat pipirma siya. Okay? Next. Ayan. A, B, C, D, and E distributed calling cards identifying themselves as directors of Pinnacle Corp to several individuals during a business conference. In reality, however, no such corporation is registered. Okay, so X receiving the calling card granted a loan of 50K to Pinnacle Corp, believing that such corporation really existed. When the supposed corporation was unable to pay, X brought an action to court against it. At the same time, Pinnacle Corp had assets of 30,000. Corporation by estoppel. Okay, so again, yung corporation by estoppel, guys, hindi po ito nag-create ng corporation, ha? Hindi ito gumagawa ng corporation. It just establishes the liability. Sino ang mananag? Okay, so liable kayo as general partners. So kapag liable kayo as general partners, anong kailangan gawin? Ubusin muna. Okay, ubusin muna. Kasi diba yung general partners are liable only after exhaustion of the assets. So ubusin mo muna yung 30. Then, saka ka pwedeng magdemanda dun sa individuals. Okay? So this one, letter B ang sagot natin. Next, Lester owns 90%. Okay, nasan ba tayo? Of the stocks of Grand Prime. On the other hand, Grand Prime owns 80% of the stock of IOS. Okay, Lester is an interlocking director of both. If IOS becomes insolvent, okay? So ito yung investee. Okay, investee. So, which of the following is true? Letter C tayo. Okay, remember, again, this is again an application of the concept of separate juridical personality. Iba po ang, the corporation has a personality separate and distinct from the shareholders. So ito, generally, wala siyang liability unless ma-apply mo yung piercing the veil na yan. Eh dito, wala naman, simple lang naman yung kwento. Wala namang sinabing circumstances, so therefore, okay, hindi dapat liable si Lester. Okay? So letter C ha. 21. Registration requirements will not apply to evidence of indebtedness. Okay? Guys, ito magtiwala ka na lang. Okay, exempt ito. Okay, pag nag-comply siya diyan sa tatlong 'yan, okay? Okay, apat. Okay, not exceeding or higher amount as long as not more than 19, non-institutional, payable to specific person, not negotiable, not assignable. Pag yan ang na-comply niya, magtiwala ka na lang, hindi po applicable yung registration requirement sa kanya, ha? Kahit security ito eh. Okay, kapag nangyari yan, hindi po siya required mag-register. Okay? So letter A, all are true. 22, tender offer becomes mandatory. Okay, however, unless the acquisition of equity is intended to circumvent or defeat the objectives of the tender offer rule, the mandatory tender offer requirement shall not apply to the following. Okay, all are true rin po ito. Okay, nandun to sa lecture natin. Titingnan ko lang kung nanonood ka talaga. Okay? So, hindi po applicable ang mandatory tender offer dito. Okay? Sige. Letter A, all are true. 23, redeemable shares may vote in which of the following cases? Ito. Alright? Kasi ang assumption dito, non-voting yan. Okay? Assumption lang naman. Kasi common yun, di ba? Na kapag redeemable or preference shares, hindi siya voting. Pero remember guys, hindi po talaga automatic yun kasi you have to deprive them. Pero anyway, ang assumption dito, non-voting sila. But remember, kahit non-voting ka, if the motion or the action of the corporation is regarding mergers or consolidation, allowed ka pa rin to vote. Okay? So letter C. Next, this test of nationality is a 3-level relationship test, by which the percentage of Filipino equity is computed in a corporation engaged in a fully or partially or partly nationalized area of activity provided in the Constitution and other nationalization laws. In cases where the corporate shareholders are present, the corporate shareholders are present in the situation by attributing the nationality of the second or even the subsequent tier of ownership to determine the nationality of the corporate shareholder. Dami sinabi. But remember, kapag yan po ang description, that is actually the grandfather rule. Okay? Pag tinitingnan mo, yung nationality nung mga shareholder, nung corporate shareholder. Okay? So anong situation dyan? May corporation, tapos ang may-ari is another corporation. Ngayon, kailangan mong tingnan kung ano yung composition nung corporation na yun. Alright? So, grandfather rule. So, i-note mo na lang itong mahabang definition na to. Kasi ang ibig sabihin yan is the grandfather. Okay? So, 25. Consider the following. Tender offer is an offer by the acquiring person to stockholders of a public company for them to tender their shares therein on the terms specified by the offer. True. Okay, statement 2. Tender offer is in place to protect majority shareholders against any scheme that dilutes the share value of their investments. False yan. Okay, kasi the tender offer is actually a protection mechanism for the minority. Okay, protection mechanism yan for the minority shareholders. Okay. And lastly, tender offer is in place to ensure that shareholders who also want to sell their shareholdings will have an opportunity for a better price. Yes, that is also true. So only one is false. Ito po ha. Kasi ang pinoproteksyonan ng tender offer is the minority. Alright? Next. Ito, magtiwala ka na lang rin guys. Magtiwala na lang rin kayo dito. This is section 26, fraudulent transactions. Okay? This is lifted from the code itself, the Securities Regulation Code. All are true po yan. Okay? All are true po yan. Okay? So, yung fraudulent transactions, ito yun. Okay? So, magtiwala ka na lang ha. So, number 26, that is also section 26. Okay? Of the Securities Regulation Code. All are true. Okay? The board should designate a lead director among the independent directors if the chairman of the board or the chairperson of the board is not independent. Okay? Including if the positions of chairperson and CEO are held by one person. Okay? The functions of a lead director are among others, the functions of the lead director, among others, are the following. Except. So, alin daw dyan ang hindi niya? Okay, alin daw dyan ang hindi niya? Sorry, ang hindi niya duty. Letter B. Okay? Kasi remember, bakit ka nga uli nag-appoint ng lead director? Kasi, kailangan mo ng, kasi may conflict of interest, okay, dun sa pagiging chair of the board. Okay? So, ang kino-convene mo lang na meeting is yung, dapat ito lang, non-executive directors. Yung mga hindi involved sa day-to-day. Okay? The lead director, okay, only convenes and chairs yung meetings ng non-executive directors. Alright? Sige. So, letter B. Next. Okay. So, guys, itong next natin, siguro naman, alam nyo ito. Itong definition na to, that is an insider, ha? Okay, insider po yan. Okay? So, pakitandaan, ito po ang, hindi lang po isa ang insider, ito po, any of these people are insiders, or is an insider. Okay? AFAM Inc. is 50% owned by the Filipinos, by Filipinos and 50% owned by Chinese. Para sa Bayan Corp, is owned 60% by AFAM. Okay? So, and 25% other Filipinos and the remaining by Koreans. Thus, para sa Bayan, public utility comply with the minimum Filipino ownership. So, normally, pag utility, okay, utility, 60% dapat, di ba? So, how do you compute something like this? Ibig sabihin, ito, kasi nationalized industry siya. So, 60%, yung 60% na yan, kalahati lang daw niya ng Filipino. Okay? Kalahati lang yan yung Filipino. So, what happens? So, what is half of 60%? 30. Okay, so 30% is Filipino dito. Tapos, 25, so that's 30 plus 25, 55 lang. So, kulang. Okay? It does not comply if you use the grandfather. Okay? Hindi mo pwedeng gamitin si place of incorporation test. Bakit? Kasi nationalized it. Okay? Pag nationalized industry, guys, ang test na kailangan mong gamitin is yung 1, si control test, or ito, yung mas strict na rule, grandfather. Okay? Sige. So, letter C ha. And yeah, number 30. So, ito guys, magtiwala lang din kayo dito. Sinama ko lang dito yung tatlong iba-ibang codes na meron tayo. Okay? Yung general na code natin, yung luma, tapos yung for publicly listed companies, at saka yung for public companies and registered issuers. Meron kasi silang konting variation tungkol sa number of independent directors. Okay, all are true naman yan. Okay, all are true naman yan, pero please take note of this. Now, first, kapag ka doon ka sa revised code of corporate governance, yung mga may SEC licenses na to, ang sabi, you need at least 2 directors, okay, at least 2 directors, which, okay, at least 2 or 20%, okay, of the board. But you cannot go below 2. Okay? So 20% daw, 2 or 20%, okay, but you cannot go below 2. So ano ibig sabihin? Minimum mo ay 2. So true. Next. Ito naman, pagka publicly listed ka, tingnan nyo, magkaiba. Di ba? Sabi, dapat daw, at least 3. Or a number which is at least 1/3, whichever is higher. Okay? Whichever is higher. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, 3 or 1/3, whichever is higher. Yan po yung sa publicly listed. Ito namang last, for public companies at saka registered issuers, tingnan nyo, at least 2 or a number that is 1/3, whichever is higher. Okay? So guys pakitandaan lang yung mga distinction na yan. Kasi, oo, independent director sila lahat, but depending on what the code is, iba ang hiningi sa'yo. Alright? So, all are true naman po yan. So, silipin nyo na lang, try mo tandaan, okay? Para kapag lumabas, at least meron kang idea paano sagutin. Okay? Sige. Yun, cooperative. Alright. So, cooperative. Consider the following. Okay, only 2 are false. Alin yung false dyan? Okay, only primary cooperatives can form cooperative federations. Okay, yan po ay true. Okay, yan po ay true. Okay? Remember, pag cooperative federation, at least 3 primary cooperatives yan. Ngayon, hindi ba, ang next mong question, so hindi ba pwedeng magsama-sama rin yung federation? Technically, pwede po. Okay, pag nagbuo ng samahan, yung mga cooperative federations, it's allowed, pero ang tawag doon, tertiary cooperative. Okay, hindi po federation ang tawag doon. Kumbaga, kung magbubuo ka ng federation of federations, hindi ang tawag doon, tertiary cooperative. Okay? So again, strictly speaking, only primary cooperatives can form federations. Okay? But federations can choose to form a group as well. Kapag nagsama-sama ang federations, tertiary cooperative ang tawag. Okay? Now, statement 2, tsaka yung 2 and 3 false na yan ha. Okay, false na yan. So, only federations can form unions. Hindi po. Okay, cooperative unions, okay, pwedeng, tawag dito, pwedeng primaries at federations ang gumawa. Pwedeng primary cooperative, pwedeng. Okay? At the appropriate levels nila. And lastly, cooperative unions can form federations. Hindi po pwede. Kasi according to our cooperative code, only registered cooperatives and, meaning primary, and federations, sila lang ang pwedeng magbuo. Alright? So, statement 2 and statement 3, they are false. Okay, they are false. Ito, ay, madali lang naman ito guys. Okay? So, paano mo kunin net surplus? Add mo lahat ng income niya, minus lahat ng expenses. Net surplus na yun. Tapos yan ang i-distribute mo according to yung order of distribution. Okay? So, letter A, 180. Paano ko yung 180? 245 plus this, minus 714. Number 3. Okay, common bond of membership. Okay, ano yung mali? Ito. Okay? Kasi ano ba ang common bond of membership? Tama to, residential, occupational, associational. Ano yung last? Institutional po dapat. Okay, so ano yung bond of membership? Residential, occupational, associational, tapos institutional. Alright? Mali po yung communal. 10%, this is memory work. Siyempre, ito yun. Okay, yung education and training fund, maximum po siya ha. Maximum of, yun yung not more than 10%. Kaya maximum. Okay? So, letter B. Next, ito po, memory work lang din. Article 14, I believe. Okay, yung minimum capitalization. Okay, minimum capitalization, 15,000. Alright? Remember guys, sa cooperative, meron pa rin yung 25-25 rule ha. Tapos yung 25-25 na yan, hindi pwedeng less than 15,000 yung paid up capital. Okay? So, yeah. That's it for cooperatives. Next, PDIC. Okay? Alright. In relation to entities classified as banks, the PDIC is a co-regulator, an insurer, and the statutory receiver. All are true. Alright? Sana hindi kayo nagkamali dyan, ha? Letter A. Next. So ito po, yung next item natin, ito yung breaking up of accounts. Okay? Di ba meron tayo no splitting, ito yung parang other type niya. Breaking up of accounts. So ito lang yung requirements. Ang mali dyan is si letter D. Okay? Tama po yung ABC. Okay? Magtiwala na lang kayo dyan. Itong letter D mali. Bakit? Remember guys, dapat yung transferee ay a qualified relative. Okay? Qualified relative. So, sino yung qualified relative? Kailangan within second degree of consanguinity or affinity. Okay? Qualified relative dapat. So, hindi mo pwedeng ipasa kahit kanino. Dapat qualified relative. Alright? Sige. So, letter D po ang sagot. Secrecy. Okay, secrecy of bank deposits. Local currency. Okay? So, local currency ang pinag-uusapan natin. Now, it is the policy. Tama yan. Okay? Only two are true. So, statement 1. Kopya lang naman natin sa batas yan. Tama. Statement 3. Kaya statement 1, tama ito ha. Statement 3, tama rin yan. Okay? So, that means statement 2 yung mali. Bakit? Kasi remember guys, itong phrase na to. Kasi di ba this was decided by, I think, Estrada versus Sandigan Bayan. Now, remember, hindi talaga deposit lang ang covered. Okay? Kasi ang sabi, whatever nature and investment in bonds issued by the government. As long as the trust account, ito. Okay? As long as the trust account covers itong part na to, then it is, okay? Then it should be covered. Then it should fall within the ambit of yung ating law on bank secrecy. Alright? So ito po yung nagpamali by virtue of Estrada versus Sandigan Bayan. Okay? False po ito ha, statement 2. False yan. Okay? So ito, okay, file the case. Court order that the account garnished, okay, to satisfy the judgment. 100,000, pansinin po natin, dollars. Okay? Remember yung dollar account? Yung foreign currency deposit? Ayan. Letter D. Okay? Exempt siya from garnishment generally. Okay? So, hindi pwede itong nangyari sa item. Dahil dollar siya. Okay? Dahil dollar ha. Kaya lang ganyan ang sagot dahil dollar ito. Okay? Dollar deposit. So, letter D. AMLA. Okay? So, guys, ito pong number 1. Mga lang, tungkol lang ito sa Financial Action Task Force para lang alam mo. Okay? Just in case. Okay? Just in case lumabas sa exam. True po yan lahat. Magtiwala ka na lang. Okay? Next. Ito po tungkol sa freeze order. Okay? Now, ano yung mali? Ay, sorry, only 2 are false. Okay? Only 2 are false. Ang mali dyan is itong dalawa. Okay? Itong dalawa ha. So, remember, ito pong statement 1, ito yung general rule. Okay? When you get a freeze order, you have to apply for that to the Court of Appeals. Tapos yung 20 days yan yung initial effectivity na. Pwede may extend? Okay, no problem. Now ito, statement 2, bakit mali? Okay, any freeze order from AMLA can never be in effect for more than 6 months. Mali yun. Kasi, di ba remember, merong targeted financial sanction. So kapag yung freeze order is isang form ng targeted financial sanction, ay, ano yan? Basically indefinite yun. Okay, hanggang mawala yung dahilan for the targeted financial sanction or yung TFS. Okay, so statement 3, okay, false ito kasi remember, there are instances when the council, the Anti-Money Laundering Council itself can issue the freeze order. Okay, anong nagpamali dito? Always. Alright? So ito, again, anong nagpamali dito sa statement 2? Yung never. Tapos yung sa statement 3, ano naman nagpamali? Always. Alright? So only 2 are false, statement 2 and statement 3. Bakit? May targeted financial sanctions, indefinite, essentially indefinite yon. Tapos yung statement 3, bakit mali? Kasi there are times na pwedeng sa Anti-Money Laundering Council mismo manggaling ang freeze order. Okay? Sige, so letter D. Of course, dapat alam mo ito. Okay? Dapat alam mo ito. Yung number lang. Ayan. Ito po yung latest, 11521. Okay? Tapos covered. Again guys, this is just to remind you. Okay, yung mga threshold, lalong-lalo na ito. Okay, lalong-lalo na ito ha. Nag-a-apply lang po ito saan? Real estate developer and broker. All are true. Alright, ito. Ito naman yung kung kailan bawal, di ba? Bawal. So ito yung election period. So remember, okay, political prosecution or harassment, dapat persecution yan. Okay, persecution. As ito yung bawal during the election period. Okay? So both are true po yan. Okay? Codal lang. And of course, syempre dapat alam mo to. Okay? Placement, layering, and integration. Yan po yung steps. Okay? Or stages. Okay? Sige. Number 6, letter B. FRIA. Okay? According to FRIA, okay, ito po yung mga hindi covered ng FRIA. Ano sila? Bank, insurance company, pre-need company. Meron pang iba. Okay? Meron pang iba. Pero ito yung, normally ito yung ano. Okay? Normally ito yung mga common examples. Okay? So bank, insurance company, pre-need. Hindi po yan kasali sa FRIA. Okay? Now, next. Ito. So normally guys, pagka nagbebenta na, bakit ka nagbebenta? Kasi gusto mo nang bayaran yung liabilities ng insolvent debtor, correct? Now, normally or generally, public auction dapat yan. These are the instances guys when inaalaw po ang private sale. So ibig sabihin wala nang auction, okay? Wala na pong bidding, diretso na. Benta mo na kaagad. Alright? So again, pakitandaan itong number na to. Kasi this is the exception to the general rule that the sales of property should be done via public auction. Okay? Kapag pasok ka dito sa instances na to, a private sale is enough. Okay? Sige. Next. Okay? Ito naman guys, meaning lang. Okay? Meaning lang ng secured claim. Okay? Meaning lang siya. Okay? So, ano lang siya? Definition lang. Okay? Tingnan nyo po. Yung number 1, lien on property. Kahit na i-transfer mo na. Okay? Na i-transfer mo na kung kanino man. As long as there is still a lien, okay, pag may lien pa rin, kasi remember, pag may lien, ibig sabihin may encumbrance. Okay? So, secured claim pa rin yun. Tapos, statutory, of course, ito, lien talaga yan. Alright? So, again guys, bakit natin nilagay ito? Para lang ma-introduce yung concept sa inyo. Baka lang hindi nyo binabasa ang definition of terms. Ayan. Okay? Both are true po yan. Now, ito rin. Ito naman, madali lang kasi ano yung types of rehabilitation na nandun sa FRIA natin. Okay, rehab ha? Types of rehab. So, court supervised, renegotiated, at saka ano tong uli? Ito yung OCRA. Okay, out of court restructuring agreement. Alright? So all are true din yan. Just memory work. Alright? FRIA, again, all are true. Okay, ano lang yung effect? Okay, ano ang effect ng commencement order? Well, some of the effects of the commencement order. Ito po, suspend all actions, suspend all enforcement, and prohibit the debtor. True naman yan lahat. Okay? Ang tanda mo lang, meron pa pong ibang effect yung commencement order ha. Listahan kasi yan. So, ito yung sum of the effects. So, all are true. Okay? Competition Act. Next. Itong number na to, we are just defining what the relevant market is. Okay? Remember, dalawa po ang relevant market. The relevant market is composed of 2 separate markets. Okay? So, kapag sinabing relevant market, you have to find out yung relevant product market at saka yung relevant geographic market. So, the relevant product market and the geographic market will compose the relevant market. Okay? So, yung laman ng relevant market, relevant product, relevant geographic. Both are true. Okay? Huwag kalilimutan yan. Statement. Puro statement. Alright, ito. Okay, tawag dyan. Per se. Okay, per se, anti-competitive. Meaning, the rule of reason does not apply here. Okay, so hindi ka pwedeng mag-claim na hindi ka pwedeng mag-raise ng defense ng there was no substantial lessening of competition. Okay? As long as you perpetrate these things, violation na siya agad. Price fixing at saka bid rigging. Okay? Price fixing, bid rigging. Both are true. Okay? Per se, yun po ang important dyan. Per se, prohibited. Procurement. Okay? So sa procurement, guys, again, the rule is, ano ka ha? Yung bidding, competitive bidding ang rule mo. However, there